Let's see if it works that way. I don't... Oh, good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Hello, my friends.
We are not you guys, and
How are
we.
we this evening? I shall change.
How are you this evening, Joe? How you feeling? How was work?
It
Can't ask my friend
was
that, right?
okay. It was okay.
It wasn't too bad.
Nah, didn't really do. Had some people come in, but nothing really exciting. Just
Didn't
some
sell a
people looking.
car.
Just yeah,
Yeah.
tried to
It's-
though. Really tried hard. Made a lot of phone calls because that's what we do, yo.
Well, yeah.
And it
Talking.
was a nice day, so yeah,
It's getting cold here tonight. It's going to drop to the 30s.
it's cold now. It's cold.
I know Helen told me she was cold in New York, so. All right, that's done, Joe. I
All righty, okay. Getting on it right now.
was thinking of a joke, but I don't want to screw it up, you know? I hate when I like to tell jokes in the beginning of the show. This one I wasn't sure about. Should I try to tell it or I'll wait till the end?
I think you should try to tell.
All right. So I hope I say this right. I'm so sorry, guys. Ahead of time because I didn't think it through really. There's a French father and son, and they're very happy, um, very much alike, and they sing a lot, and the son definitely hums and sings and fools around this kind of nature. And one day he runs out of music and he's all worried and he tells his father, I can't think of anything to sing. I need some kind of muse or inspiration. And the father's like, we'll find you, it's no problem. We'll find you something. And they're walking along and they're looking at the beautiful um, sites in France. They pass the Louvre and they walk under the Arc de Triomphe and all this, and nothing's clicking to this little boy. And he's so sad that he's not singing and his father's not singing. So they walk home depressed, sad. And the boy sees something crawling in front of him. And I have it, I have it. And the father's like, what, son? What? What do you have? And the little boy goes and he steps on this ant and he smushes and kills the ant.
Oh,
And he says, Dad, it's back. I know what I'm gonna, I know to sing now. And the father says, but why killing a small bug? What could this possibly get you happy to sing? And the little boy says, well, it's an easy one, Dad. It's a dead end, 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 dead end.
that's pretty good, man. I like that. That was pretty good. I like that one.
Really?
Yeah,
So
I
you
like that
understand
one.
why
That
they're
was a good one.
French because uh Peter Sellers or this is for
Yeah,
people a
I
little
might be able to
older than
remember that one.
yeah. They were French. He was a French inspector, right? And that was the music to the Pink Panther. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Okay. I'm glad I got a giggle from Joe.
That
He's
was
my
funny,
average
man.
Joe.
That was pretty funny. That was pretty good. I
He's
like
half
that
of you
joke.
laughed,
That was a
half of you
good joke.
groaned. Groan, Joe. Like, what the hell was this about?
Well, okay.
This isn't political satire. Well, yeah, it is. We're talking about French wee-wees. That came out totally wrong. Or it didn't. You never know what
She's
my
talking about that,
I'm
not me.
so
She.
sorry. Guys, I'm happy my husband came home nice and safe. He was home
Yeah,
exactly at 6.
yeah, because she wasn't very nice this morning. She was a wreck,
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah.
a bad
No, I
wreck.
was a wreck even before that, hon. I
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
when he took off
yeah.
because he was getting on the plane.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I was up the whole night. Like I was up the whole night. Because I don't like flying in general. And I'm trying to think, well, I'm trying to rationalize because he believes a lot of stuff, and he definitely believes in mega, and we're both pretty classy, like we're old fashioned in a way. You wouldn't
yeah.
think that, but we are traditional. And in
Hey,
fact, he brought home, he wants, or he might make it soda bread for this year for St. Patty's. He found it a little, it's so cute too, but we are very, but he can't, he laughed at me when I was telling him about the Jimmy Morrison's conspiracy that I'm going to chat about a little later. And it hurts, but I'm used to it because people laughed at me when I told them that George Bush took down the buildings,
yep.
right? And
Yeah,
Helen,
yep. A lot of people thought you guys were crazy for that,
yeah. Oh my God, I
including
said it right, boom, right there and
including
then.
me until she proved it to me. And she did prove it to me.
It's hard to prove it because people think that the
No, he did it. Man, did you guys see when he was standing right next to the podium and somebody was talking and that motherfucker had a shit-eating grin on his face.
so I
And
know
right
people.
when I saw that face, I knew all these people
I
were
know.
right.
God, I never liked
I
him.
knew it, man. I just knew it in my heart. I thought to myself, oh yeah, another one.
I never liked anybody but Perot and Reagan. Never
I was on
liked
the fence with Perot,
anybody.
but everybody loved that guy.
Or maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
but not because of the climate thing.
I was still
Because I
brainwashed
always
when
thought that was
Perot
kind of
came out.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Huh?
I was still brainwashed when Perot came out. I was still believing there was somebody
I
good
was not.
in Congress, and I was so fucking wrong.
Well, who were all these good people but evil people? They
Yes,
were the evil. They
yes.
took control of us in every which way.
Hello, Helen.
Good evening, Helen.
Well, put those knockers away, you.
Oh, jeez. You know where you're looking.
I didn't know they were, yeah. What
Hey,
is,
Joseph.
thanks. Thanks, Mama.
You can't see shit.
You
You see enough?
My
No,
my mother, when she had
you're
four
still
children,
more than
right?
that.
And she was actually very thin and petite when she was younger, tall, and then I don't know, she gained the weight and her boobs would be like this.
Oh, God.
She'd have it sit like that. Her shape would
Talking about muffin tops.
but right. But she was a bit stocky at that time, and fortunately she had that gastro surgery.
Oh, man.
Giggles, Joseph. Giggles. That's my
Yeah.
favorite. I love that giggles.
Yeah.
Um, Now I totally forgot what I was talking about. See, I didn't even have to tell a joke. Mama Helen comes on and she brings up boobs, and that was it.
That was it.
Actually, Helen, you wanted to correct something about Millie.
Yeah, this morning when we
Yes.
were on, you asked who swiped the goals from the towers.
You like the
It
what?
was Rumsfeld. It was Rumsfeld, not Millie.
Yeah. You see, you said that on one of the lives, and I was like,
Wait,
really? It
what?
didn't seem, because that would have been old. I mean,
What?
Yeah,
who swiped the gold
Oh,
from Building 7,
Rumsfeld.
the
Okay.
tower complex?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
It
You think
was
it was Rumsfeld?
that makes more sense.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, he was the head general or whatever during 9/11.
Hmm.
Did you see the video I sent you
Which
about
one?
the guy that owned the will you get out of here? About the guy that owned the Twin Towers. Get out. Where's that water bottle? Get out.
He did. He died in 2021.
He
Hmm.
I thought he passed.
he sold
He
no, he
was,
got all kinds of fucking insurance on the Twin Towers a couple of
Hmm.
months before they fell down. And he was there for breakfast every day in those towers except for 9/11.
How convenient.
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah.
I just love
A
it when they
lot of
call us the crazy
shady
ones.
shit went down there.
No, we know
People,
the jig is up. Their shit's busted now. So.
people are going to have the hardest time understanding how very deep it is. But money
No
makes you
kidding.
forget. And I was saying like you have to subtract at least 2 million people from the world that aren't going to get get a dime of this money, and we're just going to get all of theirs. You can't even imagine.
I don't give a fuck about the money.
No, neither do
I
I,
want to
but
I want to see the perp walks and the tribunals. That's
That's
all I'm
exactly
looking
what
for.
I want to see. I want to see the perp walks. Yes. That's what I want to see. I want to see these motherfuckers go down as traitors. Because they are
I
traitors.
want this where the fucking news can't fucking hide it. I want there to be a new news station out there that's gonna fucking jump on this.
Yep. And I want to see when these media companies get into trouble, I
here's
want to
some,
see them fail and fall. That's what I want to see. Because I'm tired of saving them. We the people
Well,
shouldn't have to save these people.
we the people shouldn't have to save these
I
people
think once
out of the mouth of
Trump gets
babes.
settled down with his new administration that everybody's sworn in,
Yeah.
and
Hmm. Then
when
we're gonna really
Musk
get to work.
runs out of shit to find, which I don't
Hmm.
think he's gonna. I think he's gonna spend the whole 4 years of Trump's administration to do that. I think Trump is definitely going to go after the media.
He's got to go fast. He has
Yes,
the
he is.
media. The first thing that was it Hegseth did was get them out of the Pentagon.
Hmm. He did. He got rid of a few of them. CNN's one of them. NBC,
Politico.
Politico.
And I knew when they said Politico
Politico's
speaking,
money is stopped. They're not getting any more money from us. They're gonna
they had
fail.
the USAID.
They'll fail too. They're gonna fail. They're
They're
gonna
all gonna
fail
fail.
as
They're
a
already
media company.
failing. Nobody's
Hmm.
watching these people, CNN, MSNBC, ESPN.
They're gonna
Uh,
fail. They're gonna go
gotta
down the
stop watching
tubes, and
Disney.
nobody's gonna save them. They tried to hurt us, man. They lied about us. They lied on us for years and years and years. They lied to
And who
us.
was it, Joe? Who lied?
The evil cabals,
The
evil
cabal.
cabal,
The cabal.
the evil part, the bad
Watch
part.
The Fall of the Cabal,
Ball.
parts 1 through 8.
True.
Find it
Yes.
on Rumble. What's the other one? BitChute.
I don't remember where we. There
What was that?
was a bug flying right in my face, man. I don't know if I got it or
Tell
not.
that boogie out. Tell that
It was
boogie.
real tiny. I didn't know if
Hey,
it
he
was.
wants to be
I
on
think it was.
live. Leave him alone.
I don't think it was a mosquito because we don't have mosquitoes
Mosquitoes I
right here where I'm
kill.
at.
They're like the only bugs that I really.
Yeah, it was.
Otherwise, I try to let the cat handle it.
I don't have a cat, so
No. My there was a poor salamander I had to save, or
and
Anole I
Kona,
just killed.
Kona doesn't care.
Thanks for interrupting me, but
Sorry.
okay. I
Yeah.
know I know. Kona's a big mush.
Mhm.
I miss Archer. Now that I think about it, I miss Archer.
Yeah.
Archer. All right,
Oh,
so
that's it.
what's our first subject of the day?
He was a pretty good dog.
He was
Uh, the HUD, Department of Housing and Urban Development,
right.
will be canceling 4 million diversity, equity, and inclusion contracts after the federal agency's freshly formed DOGE task force uncovered 260 million in savings last week. So now they're working really hard to cut 4 million in DEI focused contracts. Yeah, see, they didn't do it before he got in office. They did it now, trying to save their butt. Everybody in all these people in these high places
You hear
should be
Joe?
the first ones to go. All of them.
Do you
Mhm.
hear Joe?
Because they're the ones that
Do
have been
you hear
keeping up
Joe?
the status quo. Don't you agree?
I agree.
So
I
I think
agree.
you should start at the top
Uh,
and get rid of the top first, and then go down.
well,
The first four
that's why
people.
it's the shape of a pyramid, right?
Yeah. And the first four people should go. Or one, two,
I
three,
do belong to Charlie
He
Woods.
heard your voice,
six.
Joe.
The first six people should go. Hey, kitty, 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 kitty.
New Jersey Republicans. John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. He's really good.
He heard your voice and he popped up here real quick.
Hi, Trouble. All
He's
right.
Say hi,
he's a
Auntie
strange
Cat,
kitty
Uncle
cat.
Joe.
Strange cat.
We love our animals, and yes, we will take a time out to say hello to our kittens and everything.
And cats and dogs and
At least
mhm.
notice them.
He said
But we
hello
try
to
to get
you.
we try to get over the subjects and some of the conspiracies. Well,
Okay, what did I send? Oh no, I couldn't send that to you because my sister sent it to me. That corn chucking Stacey Abrams who eats corn through a fence.
Yep,
Uh,
she's in trouble too.
2 billion
yeah,
in
they
gold or
found
something.
some billion, yeah, 20 billion in
20
gold
billion.
bricks
Yeah, I think Joe
on
mentioned
the
something.
pretense that she was using it for solar energy and heating systems and all kinds of shit.
Oh no! What I uncovered about her was that there was like $20 million slated for her to use. $20 million,
Out of the gold bricks.
not out of the gold bricks. This is separate. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, Stacey Abrams,
Interesting.
you are a bad lady. No wonder why she wanted Trump. Now
They
his new Stacey
How do
Abrams
they
is
have
bad.
the, I mean, you have to have the balls to take that step forward and participate in a felony.
Yep.
And then to keep covering it up, you have to have an evil soul to like
And
make other
really,
people
not for
suffer.
nothing. Yeah.
Because
What
that's a
the fuck will they be doing with all that money that they fucking swiped?
that's coming right back into our pockets because of
It
Nasara.
better.
Nasara. McCockles.
Yeah, but where did they think they were gonna? What were they thinking
Here they
when they
put
were pocketing all
oh,
that money?
where do you think they retire to and nobody ever notices?
Exactly.
Nobody remembers their names after a couple of years. Or maybe they come out with a book to make a bit more money or
Hmm.
just or to show that they're alive and they go and live happily somewhere in like the Palisades
They've got our
or
money.
Maui.
With our money.
You know the funniest thing?
Correct.
You know the funniest thing? Once they get arrested, they can't even fucking use it for bail.
They no, because it's part of the arrest. It's part of the treason. Good evening, Alan. Good evening. They found that $6 billion that was Hillary's. Yeah, no, I think it's a
Hmm.
lot more than that.
Yep. Hillary took a lot of money. Don't forget my governor. She took money too.
They all did. They all did. Nobody is innocent here. Not the Cuomos, not the Schumers, not nobody. You name it. Pelosi's, they're all guilty. One big family and we weren't invited
That's
to the
right.
party.
Just like what's
Right?
his name said.
How did he say it
George
though?
Carlin.
He's talking about George Carlin,
There's a
yeah.
big club
And
of
you ain't in
people,
it.
And
and
you
you
ain't
ain't in it,
in it.
and you ain't invited.
Why was he dead at like 70 something? He didn't smoke, he didn't drink, he was, I don't think, he seemed pretty healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden, see, when they want these guys dead, it's always pancreatic cancer. I bet that was what it was. I was very happy to see him a couple of years before he passed in Willowbrook. I saw him in my school. Mama is so funny. Your camera zooms in and out. It's like it's like Mama Helen smile. She's not smiling no more. Kitten's coming.
You see the fucking blanket I'm wearing? It's fucking freezing in here.
Where's your damn heat?
I
Slumlord.
don't know.
Slumlord. That's what we call a slumlord.
It's warmer in the hallway. I want to go sit on the fucking radiator in the hallway.
Whoa.
In New York, the heat in Lake Apartments, the heat comes up w- w- when they have it set, and it's usually 3 times a day. But sometimes landlords don't put it on in the middle of the day because people are working. And I think it's legal. So they'll put it on in the morning.
Not everybody works during the day. I mean, people
I
work
never
at night
said
and they're
that.
home
I
during
said
the
it's
day. I know that. But their fucking way of thinking. It's supposed to be when the temperature reaches a certain amount. Like
that's
right
correct.
now, it's fucking 24 degrees
Oh
in
yeah.
New York.
It's below freezing, then the heat should be on all day.
Right here.
All day at like, 69, 70,
God, I'm stubborn.
which is very toasty.
I'm stubborn, you guys. I had to find that.
What?
It was $2 billion. Doge discovered 2 billion in taxpayer funds set aside for fledgling nonprofit linked to perennial Georgia Democratic candidate Stacey Abrams. Plus, she had all them gold bars. Where the fuck
I
this
said
woman
2
get
billion.
all that from? Fucking thief.
No, the gold, but you see, but don't you think that it's
Or
gonna
was
fucking
the 2 billion the gold?
nobody's gonna take gold bars. Do you understand? You'd have
Yeah,
to
but I
be
mentioned this.
I
I
don't even
mentioned
think
this this
Trump could get
morning.
away with something like that, huh?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I mentioned this morning that they started slicing these gold bars and found out that they were silver dipped in gold.
Why would they use silver? Silver is very expensive.
It's still not as expensive as gold. I'm
Yeah,
waiting for
but
it to come up with lead.
Well, that's the thing. See,
that's what I
the
thought it was,
silver,
lead
the
or
lead would be
steel.
as heavy as the gold.
The
Or we
lead
all
would be,
know
right?
gold is heavy.
Yeah,
Silver's not. I don't think silver is as heavy as gold, is it?
right. So it would probably be lead. It would make no sense for
Yeah.
them to just use silver. They would
Right.
use lead or steel even. But steel is denser,
You
I think.
see, that goes to show you how the demon rats work.
Right.
They are fucking
Yeah.
smart enough to fucking rob you blind,
But
but they're stupid enough to get caught.
did you hear that Charlie Ward got that gold and put it back? He took the gold from the Vatican. This is what Dana said to me years ago, because I was never really into Charlie Ward, but this is what apparently I'm still in one of his groups on Facebook, though. But he was in charge of getting all the gold out of the Vatican, bringing it back to its places, its rightful places. But like how, I guess he's doing it now, because how could he do it prior or and have a show and not be all over the place? I mean, I don't know. I haven't really watched his show, but this is, and why would he couldn't lie? I mean, that would be a humongous lie He has hundreds of thousands of viewers, subscribers around the world.
Yeah, and a lot of these people that we used to see on YouTube that were telling us all this information conveniently died too.
Hmm.
Because they're actors or military. What are the chances? I mean, I'm not sure if I believe in the whole Jim Morrison thing, but what are the chances that right after Rush's, what is he gone 4 or 5, 4 years, um, death, that I see the
Yeah,
Jim
I
Morrison
think he
video?
died 6 months after Trump was in office the first time.
Hmm.
It was a couple of days ago, his 4 or 5 year anniversary of his death. And then I happened to bump into this whole Jim Morrison video, which almost supports to a certain theory.
I could see it.
Theory. I know,
I could see it, the likeness in his face and everything.
I know. It's bizarre. I could definitely see Jimi Hendrix as Morgan Freeman. I could definitely see Uncle Pappy as being Robin Williams.
Yeah, that one I can see. Definitely
Yeah,
that one.
there's no, yeah, that was a big smack in our. You see, they're letting it out. They're telling us conspiracists, especially. It's
They even
coming out
showed
for you
one of
guys now,
yeah,
huh?
they showed um what's the Beatle guy name?
Paul McCartney.
Paul
Ringo
McCartney came out
Starr,
of his building, right? And right behind him came an older man, and that man looked exactly to the
like
T
John
like
Lennon.
John Lennon.
All right, well, that's not Paul McCartney because I don't think they were any good.
You
No,
don't?
he died in the 60s when they did that Yellow Submarine album. When they said he was, oh, wait a minute, which one was it when they were walking on the city in the streets in New York, and you saw them walking on those white
Oh,
lines
Yeah,
in the street. That's when he died.
really?
Yeah,
mhm.
he died back in the early
That's
70s
the
or late
white.
60s.
When they're walking on the sidewalk, that's in England. All that's in England.
No, they're not on the sidewalk. They're in the street in
They're in the
Yeah,
order.
walking through the
street
side.
in the crosswalk. They're walking
Mhm.
across the
That's in
crosswalk.
England.
They're
Yeah.
they're not jaywalking.
Yeah,
They're
no, that's
walking
in
within
England.
the white lines.
Right.
Trump, Elon Musk, hey Birch. Trump sending Elon into Fort Knox live stream. Yes,
Yes.
I've heard that.
Yes. I
Um,
can't wait to see that.
it's about 30 degrees on the Gulf of America and Mississippi, says Alan. I love you, kid. I love.
You know, Alan, I
It
wonder if
made
that's
my
why they're
night, Alan.
yeah. I wonder if that's why they're doing all this because of that $6 billion that Hillary lost that they couldn't never find. Remember that? Maybe that's why Trump decided to make Doge in the first place. And then now it went bigger than they thought. I mean, they found so much shit. This is
And
just
yet Trump
wrong.
says he's only going to find a certain very low percentage of everything.
And
And that's
he,
because everything
wow.
was moved around, constantly moved around and moved around and moved around. But
Yeah.
the good thing is there's a bundle.
Abbey Road, that's it.
Abbey
Thank you.
Road, yeah, did I
And
say the White Album?
that's
What was
in
that?
England. Yeah. Abbey Road was in England. Yeah.
But they were in New York, though. That was New York. That was not England.
Hmm.
Yeah, that
Wasn't
album
it?
was made in New
Hmm.
York because they spent a lot of time in New York. Those
Well, John
Beatles.
Lennon had an apartment in New York. It'd be funny if you lived in Trump Tower. No, I'm kidding. You didn't. You didn't.
No, he lived in a Dakota.
Now, I'm almost positive that Yoko Ono was at the inauguration. I forgot about it, so I never looked it up. I always catch the weirdest things. Like I wasn't watching everything. I was listening to it more, but every now and then I'd look at it and sure enough, I'm pretty sure it was Yoko Ono. Now, why would she be there? And a fake Mark Zuckerberg? Come on, guys. No. 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 Okay, so let's see.
Yeah, and Mark Zuckerberg was looking at what's his name's boobs like he was looking at yours.
Who? Mark Zuckerberg was what?
He
Joseph
was
says it was
staring
in
at.
England.
I know.
Could
The crossing is situated at the southernmost point of Abbey Road at the junction with Grove End Road in the St. John Woods area of northwest London.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was wrong.
it doesn't look like England roads at all, the English roads. To me, it looks like New York. But
Could have changed, right? Everything's changed.
I was there in the 90s,
Mhm.
80. I was there in 89 or 90.
I
How long after Abbey Road was that? No, it's just, but
don't know.
I was also
About
in,
20 years.
yeah. It looks like it does. That's what maybe, well, then again, we took everything from the Brits, so it wouldn't surprise me we took their ba paint jobs too. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Fine
doubt
with
it either.
me. But why was I? Okay, never mind.
Well, isn't America a mismatch of the whole world?
You'd imagine, but we took
Yeah,
no. We had
that's
most, I mean, we had that's why your name is French.
right.
Brasher. Your family
Exactly.
has been here for since the beginning. We're
And then
French and
my mom is
English
Quintana, and my mom is Quintana.
and Spanish. Those are the three. I mean,
But we have everybody here now from everywhere.
what's next, Joe?
Want to know what's another subject? The Haitians got some bad news
Oh
today.
yeah, look at the
They
car.
got the Haitians when they came here. Some of them that came illegally, or some that came on Joe Biden's that um, it was a work program. They got it was called humanitarian parole, and they got work permits. So Trump is saying that he could cancel them 6 months because they're supposed to go through till 2026. Joe Biden said they would, but Trump is talking about canceling them 6 months early. And all of those guys, if they came here illegally or on that permit program, could be deported. So they got some bad news too. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
See ya.
Won't miss
You know
you.
what, man?
Sorry.
I'm so sorry that we have to deport all these people and they have to go
Yeah.
back to their countries
Well, they
that
should have
don't
done it the
support them
correct
and give
way.
them work. But that's not our fault.
Right. Do it the right way. No
That's
matter
right.
what. It's a pain in the ass,
Well,
but that's
there's
what you
that.
got to work for. That's what you got to do.
Well, there's that,
Everybody
Carolyn.
else had to do it before you. What makes you
Mhm.
so special? What makes you so
There's
special that you can cross right over this border,
mhm,
but people that like have been living in places that you would have to fly from, maybe
mhm.
Asia or Europe, and you know, it's harder for them. Well, now it's not. Now we have jet planes flying them in here. But at one time they would have to boat on over, fly on over,
Mhm.
do everything the proper way. They couldn't go through jumping right over our border. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's the
Itty
problem
bitty.
there. See, if they
You
came
know,
here illegally, they don't have a right to come back. You understand that? So everybody that came here illegally, you will not be able to come back. Not even legally.
okay, but how did when the fake Biden was in office,
Hmm.
a lot of these people just didn't cross the border by walking from country to Mexico to the States. These slime balls, had a lot of them flown in. How the
Right.
fuck did they get them flown in?
because
They
we had
made them
an
what? Fake
embassy.
passports?
Bush,
We flew
Clinton,
them
and
in.
Obama
So,
had an
hmm
embassy in Central America.
that's right.
And that's
Carolyn's right.
why I believe there was a harp station close over there. And
hmm
those last hurricanes that spit out towards Florida and North Carolina were designed
That's right. They tried to take
from
over our
Central
country.
America.
They
Mhm.
they tried to put so many people in our country that they would take over our country. They tried to kill Americans and give our country to the rest of the world because that way they could control those people coming from the rest of the world. And Americans who were smart enough to know that this is our fucking country, not yours, right? So they tried to bypass us and throw us away. So if you notice something, I want everybody to notice this, that they have put a lot of these people that are on drugs and homeless, they did it to them because the government is responsible for bringing all those drugs in here, all of them. And our senators are actually the ones that are in charge of some of these shipping lines that actually bring in the drugs. And no, you got to know, guys, that they ship everything by weight. So if you think that they don't know that these drugs are on their ships, you're wrong. They
Like I
know
said, that's why we had to take
exactly
over
how much
Panama. That's why
to
we
the
had to
T.
get places like
Mhm,
Cuba and that's why the Gulf of America, it's strategic, it matters. I still don't
mhm.
care for it, but
I understand why he did it.
I'm not gonna bitch, we got to
And
show force.
Yep,
and speaking of
yep.
Yeah.
Haiti,
Yeah.
do you remember when Hildebeest was running around?
Yeah.
She had a foundation of
Yep.
some sort of shit with Haiti.
hmm
Black black children's blood was much more potent. So
Yes.
that's why they kept Africa
They would become
poor,
more scared. They were
you know.
they would become more scared.
But these parents got mad
Right.
that Hillary tried to take their children. And what happened was
And what
Hillary's
about the ones that
lawyer,
sold them to her? What about the ones that sold them?
Bad
after
people.
Hillary
You know,
got
a
them,
lot of these kids weren't just taken. A lot, will you get out of here? A lot of these
yes,
kids weren't just stolen; they were sold
right,
Right.
to people.
You're right.
right. They were used, abused in ways
Poor
we
kids.
can't
And they were
possibly.
probably from the
Oh,
poorest part of Haiti,
But
and they needed money.
the last time she got caught, the parents caught on that
mhm.
every time these white people come in, taking our children 50 at a time. It was a bunch of children. So somebody caught on to this. And I don't know how many years back it was, but her lawyer took the rap. This young girl. She couldn't
Yeah,
have
I
been.
remember.
Remember that?
Yeah,
I
and then
can't
she
remember her
spilled her
name.
guts. And then she spilled her guts.
Yeah. And then that's how we know.
And if you noticed, all the Holly weirdos, when they adopt kids, you ever notice
They're
they're
all
all
black.
black?
Yes. Yes. Oh, they are.
These people are vampires, cannibalists, like whatever you want to call them. They are. Okay, so we got like you're correct. We're correct about I was looking at the Abbey Road, by the way, and you're right.
Mhm.
The street markers are way too big. But you know what's funny, and maybe why I always thought it was New York is there's a Volkswagen Beetle sitting right there, and another truck looking thing. They don't look British to me, but and you're right, they do drive backwards. I was in like Kensington, which is by Piccadilly Circus. We were close to
Yeah, the
everywhere.
steering wheel is on in where our passenger side is.
Right. On the floor for on the actual street, in big letters it will say look left and look right for tourists in London. It's I'm not kidding, like huge, like 3 feet, 6 feet letters, like look left, because we're used to, you know, seeing it the opposite way. It's funny.
Yeah, you know what else hit me
I
too?
remember, sir.
The name of the album, Abbey Road.
Yeah, I don't know
Mhm.
why I was thinking of the White Album, but the White Album is obviously white.
Yes.
Yay,
No, Abbey
Carolyn's an
Road. Isn't
artist
there
for
an
her
Abbey
whole
Road
life. She
in
knows her
London?
colors.
Where?
Is an Abbey Road in London?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. It was Britain. That's why I didn't think of it because I'm thinking of the. Never mind.
Yeah, me
It
neither.
doesn't matter.
Oh
It's
well.
over. You got it right. The coyotes are moving the drugs through Canada too. Yeah. Well, Canada's going to be stopped because it's going to adopt our constitution. We're going to be one big happy.
I don't think so.
I do.
Mhm.
I don't think
Well,
so.
who do you think who runs Canada, Mama? The Brits. It's a British monarchy, Canada.
I thought it was French.
No, the French ran away before World War II because they saw what the fuck was going on. Apparently, so did the Ukrainians. There's a huge population there. That's why my mother went there. Um, they're British rejects. I'm sorry, I'm kidding. I love my Canadian friends. But
Why do they speak French though?
there's a bunch. I told you they're from France too. But they they love the Queen. Come on. Have you ever watched a Canadian show or something? I don't know how else. They're all about the Queen. They're all about the monarchy. They're British. They're British rule like. That's why I know we're gonna give them umbrella them under our constitution or hand them one exactly like ours or they'll be invited into our government. Somehow. It has to be. We're going to have a one world order, guys. It's just going to be a good one in the right hands. I mean, think of it for people that believe in outer space and aliens and stuff. I know Mama Helen, you don't, but for those that do, then yeah, you have to have one Earth Federation, right? Like, I think it's true. Y'all looking at me like, is she fucking for real right now? We're trying to run from the one world order. What's the
Yeah.
point? We want
That we
peace on
are.
Earth, not just
That
peace in
we are.
America. What's the
Oh,
what,
I don't know, man. that one I have a problem. I don't know.
do
I'd
you
love.
do you? I didn't say there has to be one president or
Yeah.
one, but you can't. We have to abolish
Yeah.
evil everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
We're gonna let China still, make their people work for an average of $2 an hour
Yeah.
and have ridiculous rules like not being able to leave China or you'll get shot. Like it starts here, but the people, no matter where, an average person in any country wants this type of peace. So please don't have trouble understanding this because you have Joe Blow in Southeast Asia that would love, you know, to have food on his table because he wants to be an honest man, work his butt off and do whatever needs to be done.
Correct.
But he can't because,
It's
DEI over there.
government.
I don't know. Who knows many
It's
reasons.
government.
First come, first serve, who you know. You can't have a decent job. You're a peasant. You don't know how to read. Bullshit. But as I always say, is as if you're on an airplane. When those masks drop, you're supposed to put your mask on first, before you put the mask on the child. Because if you go unconscious, you're not going to help the child. You have to protect yourself first, then help the baby, right? Trump is daddy of America. He's also daddy of the world. Daddy of
Yes.
the world. Or America. He's starting a revolution, but we're global. We're global. What makes us global? Look, I'm talking to you in New Mexico. I'm in Florida. Mama Helen's in New York. And we talk to people from Australia and England and Ireland and, New Zealand and you name it, right? So why would we stop progress everywhere else? Care for ourselves first. Yeah, we have to. That's a must. And that's a must from President Trump because he is our president. He has to look out for us first. I mean, it's got to be done.
I believe that's what he said, didn't he?
Yes,
America first.
many times. And I get it. I'm not destroying that. I'm not trying to erase that. Joseph says, I saw today that Alberta and Sacagawea are talking about leaving Canada and joining the USA. Where did you hear that, Joseph? That's fucking
They
see?
would fare better here.
Alan says I could see that happening. Joseph, they're enjoying lower taxation.
Yep.
Look at all the oil that we would inherit. Right. There be safety in numbers, safety in land, safety in military in our borders.
Yep.
America would be
Just makes
the
sense.
safest country in the world.
Yeah, and then we take Greenland under our wing, and that puts the
Greenland.
northern hemisphere safe. We're protected.
I recorded it. One of the cartoons said today that they found out about our fake mission in Antarctica. They know things. I can't accept that they would just come out and say that unless they're into conspiracies themselves. And that's out of Patrick Stewart's mouth. Yes, that was American Dad. And I actually I record a lot of it. So one day I'm gonna go through all the cartoon stuff. When the fish says something about Hillary. Oh, it's nasty.
Well, she's a nasty woman, so there's that.
But this is what I'm saying. These people know. And they know more because they're around it.
Mm-hmm.
They were around Hollywood and these politicians. Some of them came onto their shows to do their voices, right? Their own voices.
Did anybody hear about this new thing with Joe Arpaio confirming that Obama's birth certificate was authenticated as fake? I mean, we knew this.
Who was it though? Who
Joe
authenticated?
Arpaio.
Who is that?
He's from, I believe, Texas, and he was behind Trump, but he liked Obama and didn't want to believe that his birth certificate was fake. Now they have record proof that his birth certificate was fake. Why they brought this up today?
His brother even said, because, Michelle's going back to being a man.
Yes.
It's all, the gimmick is up. The game is over. It's been over
Yep.
quite some
Right,
time.
and the damage is done. What this fucker did to this country he shouldn't have been president at all. So people are saying everything that he did should be overturned.
Right.
But he fucked up the country all the time he was in what do you call it? And he was the fucking puppet master over Biden's administration.
Yes, he was.
Really, Joe?
No. Well, he was. I think they were directing Joe Biden through him.
Oh, really?
You don't think so?
Was
You don't
No,
think
he is
that?
no longer with us. He's worm food.
So how could Obama have been there? How could any of them have been in control if we know in 2019 what happened? Can't flip, can't only one direction time goes into. And I know I'm a Time Lord fan. Doctor Who fan here, but
Well, I remember from the Weekend Warrior that it was said that they nailed the two of them,
yes.
Mikey and Hussein.
Look at Darian,
Okay.
this big headphone.
She
Yeah,
got a lethal injection and he took the
yeah,
bullet.
right. So why would you think he ran the country for 4 years? This is my problem. I can't understand. I can't go back and forth. And Joe, you right away agreed with her. And I keep trying to push it in your heads. It doesn't make sense. You can't go. I'll say it again. We have close to 1 million soldiers in America. If Biden was in office, we had a true communist. He wasn't even a socialist. He was a Nazi communist. If he was really in office, we would have felt it. It would have been as plain as day. It wouldn't be just a few million chickens either. Joe, are you reading the chat? There's a lot in the chat. Thanks for helping, Joe.
No, I'm not reading the chat right now. I apologize.
I was messing.
I was reading.
No, do you have the other new? Do you have more news?
I said, "Hold
Okay, look at that. Oh yeah. Right now we need our country fixed
on."
and conquer the world later. No, I agree with you, Alan. I'm not taking away. I mean, America first, right? Yeah.
Actually, we have to cook. Let's see.
I just do believe that we are going to be global. There's no, I mean, we have Starlink. Do you think he's going to just stop over? I mean, the guy's from South Africa. He's not going to stop. He's going to surround the whole world, which might prove finally if the world is flat or round. Look at this poor girl. She's in her room. Okay, when we go off air, I'll send it to Joe. Oh, yes, I have to. Thank you for reminding me. I have to finish that email for the group. There's a special
Yeah.
email. I'll put it in a meme tomorrow for the group. I would tell you, I'm not sure if I put the or took out the word the. Otherwise, I would tell you right now. It's liberally challenged, but I can't remember if it was. Okay, because I did it that long ago.
Yeah, it used to be the liberally challenged. Now it's just liberally challenged.
Yes, but when I did the email, I don't know what I did it as. Hi. Hi, Johnny. I'm just happy he's home, man. I was a mess, John. Well, not without you knowing that you were flying. I could live without you, hon. But not if you were dead. That'd be too serious. Enjoy. Glad
This
you're home
woman's
safe.
help.
So President Donald Trump has issued a 2-week deadline for schools and universities to end their DEI policies.
Yeah, good. Got to
Yep,
start with them because they're the
beginning
ones.
in 14 days. The education department stated that racial preferences can no longer be applicable in admissions, financial aid, or hiring. He says that it segregates people, students, and it does. I believe that.
Of course it
DEI
does.
is a bad
That's
thing.
what I'm saying. When they say inclusion, it makes no sense because everybody is included.
Right.
So it is a type of segregation. When you're,
Right.
if you're taking them out of the already system that they're in, you're making another group. You're the ones excluding them.
Right.
We are one country under one constitution, and if you love to believe it, one God.
And everybody's included, no matter what color you are.
Bingo. As long as you're born here.
Yep.
Do you hear
Where is
anything
this?
else about Ilan Omar?
No, no. I really didn't do any research on anything because waiting for him to come home, having the dog, it's just that dog
Oh,
has
look
more
at
panic
that.
attacks than. Do you know that me and my dog, this is no joke. I told you my life is a bunch of coincidences. We're on the same medication for anxiety. The same exact medication. Right, Johnny?
Yeah, he eats all the same food as you too.
And he eats a lot of the same foods as I do. And he broke out in the bumps too. One medication affected me so bad I broke out in bumps, including on my shoulder. I have this huge bump, which hopefully might be my first time in surgery. I just can't stand it. It's just but I got bumps all over, and he did too. I have one under my arm, which I can live with because they said there's too many nerves to do surgery, so I'll live with it. It's been painful my whole life, most of my
Just call
life.
her Bumpy.
But yet, yeah, thanks. But yet my dog too had one under his left paw, under the left arm, the same thing, and they did surgery on him. Like, and look, I love Panfield because we didn't pay more than like $200 for that, or 50 maybe. They took care of everything. What would have cost maybe 3 or 4,000, you know.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're
Yeah,
pretty
you're
good.
doing
And
good with
they're
them,
very,
right?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
introduced them
Yeah.
because when I found out that we're in New Jersey and we had no problem them sending all the information from Florida to New Jersey, God bless you.
Yeah.
They were just excellent. They just took care of everything. And
She goes again.
but like as with regular doctors, people, you have to ask the right questions.
Mhm.
You ask questions doctors are stupid.
Got that
They
right.
are. They just are. They're indoctrinated. Not all of them,
Yeah.
but a lot of them.
Yeah, because they're all getting paid to push different types of fucking medication on you.
Well, yeah. Can you imagine making $10 a pill? That they're making the thousands a month to pay off their
Yeah, and they all get
medical,
bonuses for the shit that they do. They're
right,
not in the business of healing
healing you.
people anymore. They're in for the fucking money.
I definitely believe in holistics a lot more. I do.
Oh yes.
I proved it to myself anyhow, a few times. My stomach is cured. I'm able to eat spicy food. I don't go overboard, but I'm able to eat spicy foods again. I love spicy. I love it. So
So do I.
yeah, made my day. I cured my own stomach. I cure my own carpal tunnel, which now I
Ooh,
get maybe once a year, twice a year when the weather is really bad, you know.
I love spicy food.
I know you do.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Spagnola in you.
I had a chicken
That was-
sandwich with green chili on it today. That was so wonderful.
Oh, I love it. I would be like, make me cry.
Oh God, it was so
And then for
good.
years I couldn't eat it. Couldn't
It
eat it.
doesn't make me. It doesn't make me sweat or cry. It just wasn't even hot.
And it's not hot enough. That's what I'm saying. Put it in until it makes me cry.
Well, it's supposed to. Yeah, I
And you
got the
want to hear
hottest.
something funny?
I got the hottest they had.
When we were bad when I was little,
Oh
my
no.
mother used to shove those cherry peppers in her mouth.
Oh, I like cherry peppers.
Yeah, I didn't at the time.
Right.
And I was a stupid fucking asshole. I used to keep it in the side of my fucking cheek
Oh, it would burn it.
and where my eyes was hearing and shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
My sisters, they were
cruel.
smart. They fucking just chewed it up and swallowed it. So I always hated them. Now
Mhm.
I eat them like I was eating a jar of olives.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love olives too.
Do you guys get those the little yellow chilies in the grocery stores? We call them yellow
Yes.
hots. We call them yellow hots. I
I
like to eat those with bologna sandwiches, believe it or not. I love those things. They're
like
so
putting on chips on a sandwich, I guess.
yeah, they're
I haven't had a
so
sandwich
good.
in like forever.
Yeah, I haven't had
I haven't had meat in over a year. Well over a year.
one. Damn it. Just kidding.
It doesn't bother me for some
Huh?
reason. I don't know. Okay. Shall we go on? Is there
Whoa,
anything else? You talked about everything?
pretty
Allergic
much.
reaction to the drug. Yeah. Yes. Um, I went back. Okay, so there was a there was a doctor in Staten Island that found my husband's aneurysm in back of his leg, and I trusted this guy. Uh, he actually put me on the original pill that I'm still on, right? The thing is, you're supposed to change them. And he never, he just didn't, he was really good, but at one point he just wanted customers, it looked like. He was more get in and out, in and out. And when I went in, I told him I wanted to try something new. It had been 15 years or so that I was still taking the same pill. You'd imagine that they should have suggested it, right? I was already here though. But I went back to him to see what he'd say, and I told him what my mother, my whole family had it, except for my father. My oldest brother, I think he has something of it. But the rest of us, my other brother, my sister, and my mother all had anxiety. We all do. We all suffered from it. So I told the doctor what my sister and my mother were taking. No, 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 no. He gives me this thing. I can't, Joe, do you remember what it was? It was to quit smoking. It was the
Oh,
drug.
was it the Chantix?
No, 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 no. Um, it was to help with depression and to quit smoking.
Hmm.
So it's hard coming down off one pill and going on another one. But I was in New Jersey, remember, Joe?
Yeah.
I was visiting New Jersey. My mother was still alive, and I was every day I was going out of my mind. I can't even explain to you the PSTD, the shit that crossed my head, the death and the destruction, and kind of like being awake, like I am, but it being shoved in my face. It was awful. And yeah, I broke out my breasts, my shoulder. I got something in my abdomen. Um, it was horrible. I just bumps. And when I got back home, I told my husband, "You better call him." I had a few of my old pills left, so he told me in a couple of days, Don't take anything," and then in a couple of days, start up my old pills. I was lucky to still have a couple of weeks of them here. I I was close to mad. So
Yeah, well, these pills that they give you to stop smoking causes depression, uh, gives you suicidal thoughts.
Yep. Yep. It didn't do that to me. I took the Chantix. It made me sick. Made me really, really sick. But it is actually what helped me quit. I mean, I just after that I says, nah, fuck this.
I
I
was
couldn't
lucky. I just quit
smoke. I
cold
couldn't do nothing
turkey.
after that. So
My dad quit cold turkey. He smoked a pipe, and so did I. I never thought I'd
yeah,
see the day, but I
yeah.
don't know. That was
12,
just a
12
horrible,
midnight,
horrible experience.
12 midnight, 2010 was the last time I smoked a cigarette. Right before 2010. First day of 2010, no cigarettes, no
So
smoking.
15 years, over 15 years.
Yep.
I'll get there. I'll get there
Yes,
when I'm
ma'am.
your age. There you go. It's true. Um, Yeah, so the pills, man, you don't know what they do to you. It's put me through menopause in my late 30s. By the time I was 41, I was done. Um, and this doctor from Staten Island actually ended up dying of cancer in a couple of years after that. I would never wish revenge on anybody, but he pissed me off. What a fucking asshole. Whatever worked for my mother couldn't work for me. And it was a very, everybody would know it's very common. Can't think of the name right now. It's a very common antidepressant. See, I'm not depressed. That's the problem. They give depression pills for anxiety. It's two different things. Anxiety is a very physical, uh, uh, it's not just emotional, it's a very physical change, a chemical and physical change in the body. The nerves in the brains disconnect. Your heart starts racing, your palms start sweating. So it's not fun. It's not. But the doctors don't care. Oh, well, the government researched it. Must be damn good. And I'm gonna get
Yeah. And
$25 a pill bottle.
you ever notice that when you're in the doctor's office too, there's always a pharmaceutical rep in there with a fucking suitcase full of shit to push on them?
Yep.
Yeah,
And then they turn
absolutely.
around and say, well, why don't you try this? Motherfucker, you just took it out of the guy's fucking suitcase.
Good evening, Susan. No, I know. I know. Let me see. I want to find. Let's talk about Jim Morrison, who his peers did not like very much. His peers did not like him. Lots of great stories.
I wonder why.
Why do you think? Before I begin,
Why didn't they like him? I don't know why they didn't like him. I thought everybody liked him. I don't know.
I never liked the Doors. I never
I
did.
do. I love him.
Oh, I love the Doors.
Never liked
Jim
them.
Morrison was a military brat. When he lived here in New Mexico, he lived about 2 miles from my house, 2 miles down the road.
There you go.
Oh,
Look at that square. You see how there's like seven different types of faces, oval, square. This is square. There's,
I-
even some round and whatever. But
Yeah, even the chin on some of them. Some of them are like heart shaped, some are round,
Square.
some are
That's a
square.
square. That's a square
well,
chin, right?
yeah, that's
That big
definitely
one, yeah. But if you look at some of the others, the chins are not the same. Like the second one on the top row.
that's the one I have
He's
up
got
there.
a heart-shaped face there. Then the one underneath it, when he's wearing the black shirt, he's got the square chin.
I attribute it to growing.
Change.
Growing. Went from a boy to a man. When did he start his music?
Well, he
When did he
died at
start playing?
27.
There you go.
He does. He looks like
27.
a boy here. He looks like he's 17, 18 here.
It's
And
weird
then
that,
like
that they
here he
die at
looks more like
27.
25, 26. Huh?
It's weird that they die, that most of them die at
That's
27.
that's what I said to my husband. I was like, "Well, don't you ever find it
26
strange that
and
they all died at
27.
27?" He goes, "No, it was from heroin." I'm like, "Okay." Okay.
You got Amy Winehouse, you got Janis Joplin, you got Jimi Hendrix, uh,
Nirvana.
Jim Morrison,
The Nirvana kid.
Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, I think he killed himself at 27 too.
That he did.
And they were all supposedly from drugs.
Right. Um, Meanwhile, Janice was a brilliant girl.
Janis
Uh,
Joplin?
yes.
Yeah, she was very intelligent.
Jim Morrison was an idiot. He
Mm.
was the um like I said, hated by his peers. He's
Hmm.
and I actually want to go and get some coffee, so I want to have an intermission, but I will
Yeah, I'll
sh
go tap a
It's
kidney while
weird.
you do that.
what is that?
I was gonna go tap a kidney.
Tap a kidney.
Okay.
I knew what that meant. I laughed hysterically when you first said that. Look at this. It That face is very,
Yeah, look at the one next to where it says Rush Limbaugh.
No.
He's wearing the white turtleneck.
yeah, I know.
Tell me that don't look like Jim Morrison.
You don't see it?
I
Well,
don't.
things can be tweaked. I'll get into it in a few minutes. It's known as the 27. Yeah, the 27 Club. That's right. Even Amy Winehouse was 27, was she?
She
26 or
was.
27. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll be right back, guys. Everybody go take a pee break, get some coffee. I could play music, but I don't know. Let's concentrate on Rush Limbaugh. Coffee! Coffee!
I'm trying to see it. Oh.
11:30. Do you know where your children are?
Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, I does. I wonder. I know it's really hard to believe that these people have done what they've done. It goes really deep. I don't
Birch,
think anybody knew how deep it went.
Birch had mentioned that they're going through Fort Knox, right, with the camera, Elon and stuff. What do you
Yeah,
think they're gonna find? I'll be right back. What do you think they're gonna find, though?
Not gold.
I think they're going to find a little bit of gold. I think they're going to find a lot of it gone. And nobody's going to know where it went. That's
Yeah,
what I
well, Fort Knox, I think, was in on all this fucking shenanigans too.
Of course they were. They absolutely were. What do you what do you see? How do you guys see Jim Morrison in this guy?
Yeah, well, don't forget, Rush Limbaugh is older than what's his name was. Jim Morrison.
I
No,
know.
the opposite way. Jim Morrison is older than Rush. Jim
Huh.
Morrison was born in 1943. Rush was born in 1951.
Well, that sucks.
And I'm sure you look nothing like you did when you were 27.
I know I don't.
That's what I just said.
You did hear me though, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Oh,
had very dark hair.
I look almost exactly like I did when I was 13.
I do too. I look the same from what I saw pictures of me when I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
Face didn't change.
Okay.
So,
Except it got
okay.
older.
Look, even if you don't see it, like, I mean, because you got to understand, he had the hair. First of all, he's fatter as Rush. We all know he gained weight. Second of all, um, his hair was always in the front of his face. Have you ever seen Howard Stern with short hair? He's fucking ugly
No.
as shit, man.
No
But
matter what he looks like, he's ugly as
yeah,
shit.
I know he's ugly inside and out. Howard, you're a creep. You always been, you perv. God knows he's been with young women. 21 to 25, so yeah, it's 4 years. Um, Look at that. See, I can almost see it there. Oh, I'm not sharing anymore, am I?
Yeah, just put some curls on that face and you'll see it's the same fucking face.
Right. Exactly.
And even the one next
Well,
to it with the black shirt, what is that one? Yeah.
well, yeah,
With
that's
the
why I
black
put it
shirt and the
up.
white hair. I could definitely see it.
There are a couple of things that I'd like to understand more about. Um, but first I want to hear what you thought of what Elon's gonna find. Nothing you said, Mama?
He ain't gonna find gold.
Well, that's the thing. What if Charlie Ward did have control of the gold and put it back?
I don't think so because this one about finding that the whatever it was dipped in gold was not gold.
Yeah, but
Now what do we
we
got to test every
we've
fucking
had
gold brick now?
control. We've had control since at least 2020, most control since at least 2019, 2020. We've had more than 50%. Wouldn't you think we would just start with money and gold being the most precious?
Is that why everything is out there telling you to buy gold?
All right.
I've been saying, oh my God, I've been saying it for such a long time. And my mother, she would have known. Today's her birthday. I've said that earlier today, but she would have known. She loved gold. She loved it. She just, and she knew it. The woman that was brought up with communistic, country in the communistic country knew gold mattered. I wonder why. Um, I'm not sure. They could play it two ways. It would be great for people to understand how deep and how long ago this all started if the money from Fort Knox is gone. Do you know what I'm saying? It would make, I mean, they're already finding out that Stacey Abrams and Hillary Clinton and everybody had a piece of the pie. But if they found out that if America found out that they took the billions worth of gold from Fort Knox, it wouldn't be a conspiracy at all. It'd be like, what the fuck, yo? People would get pissed. So
Oh, I don't know if I sent this to you or not.
I could see it working both ways, guys. Like it could wake masses up, or Charlie Ward could have done it. I don't know if even Charlie Ward did it, but that is one of the conspiracies. So there it is. I wish Dana was on because he would have probably said more about it. What were you saying, Helena?
Um, I saw a video today about the Nacera. John F. Kennedy the President Kennedy, okay, was going to do the Nasera thing like they're doing now. And that's why he was knocked off. He knew he was supposed to die because they were all fucking against him. You had the fucking Bush motherfucker. I hope I sent it to you. Let's see.
Well, that makes, I mean, I know that it was going to happen 9/11. It was supposed to happen 9/11.
Right, but Kennedy was pushing
I could
this
see
thing.
that. I could see
Kennedy
that
was pushing this before he was assassinated, and that's why
because it
they
was
took him
that
out.
way. Why did we? Because it was 100 years since it wasn't that way, probably. It had to, gold backing had to have stopped in, when was the gold rush and all that?
Hmm.
It had to have stopped shortly after that, or, I mean, they took control of it. The mines in Africa weren't being, well, they were being mined by the Africans, but they weren't being um paid to the Africans. It was from Britain yet again. They're the ones that controlled many of the mines in Africa and South Africa. The diamond mines, the gold mines.
Started in 1848, the gold rush in California. 1848 to 1855.
100 years after. See, Kennedy knew. You're right. It makes sense. I shall give it that. Can we prove? Sorry, Susan, I'm not sure what you mean. Can we prove what? I'm sure we can. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
Do we know when they're going into Fort Knox? Did he actually say what day it was going to be?
I didn't
I know he's
hear him.
going in. He said he's going in. He's going in. I don't know what day though. I wonder. That'll
I'm
be a
gonna,
big wake up
I'm
call.
gonna find it interesting either way.
Well,
I
yeah, it's going to be a big wake up call for most of the country that they stole our gold.
if they stole it,
If they
if
stole
I think they did. I know that they stole the gold, but did Trump replace it in time?
it. No.
That's really the question, for me at least. All right, so let's get back to Jim Morrison Rush.
Okay.
Jim Morrison Rush. Rush, mind you. What a great name to call yourself if you're a musician, huh? Isn't there another band called Rush? A
Oh,
very
there is.
big, popular band.
There sure
I'm
is.
just saying that, guys. Just names matter. I'm just throwing it out there.
And what do you get when you get high? A rush.
Or when you stand up.
Now, what happened was his peers really hated him. They disliked him. Um, to like even his own band had a problem with Jim Morrison. He was crude and disgusting.
And his music was very dark.
Yeah, it was, yeah. It's also almost like he had he had problems, right? And it seemed to go further than just drug abuse. So I would normally not watch, although I am interested about the this conspiracy. Is Rush Limbaugh really Jim Morrison? Wait, did Tyler say it was Tyler Henson?
He he was leaning towards it, yeah. You know how he says wink wink, it's just a conspiracy,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's what he believes.
Well, what caught my attention was, okay, he was having all these problems, so he decides to go to Paris with his girlfriend, and this is where he dies, right? And his keyboardist, um, who he's known forever, because well, not forever, but not forever. Is there ever such a thing? But he went to UCLA, I believe, with him, graduated. Um, it wasn't music. I think it was theater, actually. They graduated in theater. What was his name? Ray something. Oh, I can't remember the keyboardist's name. Maybe I have it written down. Sometimes I have to have it. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Yes, UCLA Film School grad. Um, Ray Manzarek. That's why I did not remember it. Manzarek. Okay. He thought it was strange that, he died, that Jim Morrison died in with his girlfriend being there in Paris in a bathtub, and that they were never able to see his body. Bum, bum, bum. So this was like the first part of this small video about Jim Morrison, and it got my attention enough that I'm like, okay, what happens when we're not able to see people's bodies? There's no proof.
Right.
Just like we never saw Bin Laden's body.
Right. There's no proof. And Manzarek, um, he didn't believe it. He honestly didn't believe that Jim Morrison was dead. This man seemed invincible at times. And, and then not to be able to see the body on top of it. This is his friend from college, right? So it's got to know him for 7 years at least. If 27 he died, right? Then you have brilliant, brilliant Frank Zappa, who thought that um, Morrison was like glamorized, you know, um, self-destructive. Zappa was a brilliant man. I mean, nobody beats Frank Zappa. He thought, I think I remember them saying like, he made drugs known. He made it known, Jim Morrison made it known that he was on drugs, you know, to all his fans, to all these kids that liked rock and roll. So he basically thought the man was distasteful and harmful to trends and kids, and you know, that he was definitely self-destructive and showing these youngsters how to be that way. I love Frank Zappa. I just do. I mean, if you ever see some of his quotes, they're just he was a great philosopher, musician, great. You had Janis Joplin too. That
Yeah.
I think she was playing at a nightclub. No, it's not even, all these guys met. Janis, Jimmy, and Hendrix. Um, um, Morrison, right? They all three had met at one time or another. But I think they were in a nightclub, and Jim Morrison wouldn't take no for an answer from Janis Joplin herself. It got so bad that she took a bottle of Southern Comfort to him over the fucking head with it. That's how bad it was. That's what kind of creep he was. Uh, there was Jerry Garcia. Um,
Jerry Garcia for president.
I don't know. I don't know if I like Jerry Garcia. I mean, I used to like the Grateful Dead, and I just don't know. Now I know I like Dylan a lot more. And I used to listen, I like Dylan and the Grateful Dead. But I don't know. But even Jerry Garcia said he was like, Jim Morrison was a no talent. Like he was like undeserving of 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 his status, you know. Um, he was not as great as people made him out to be. That was the kind of stuff Garcia. I'm not a big Garcia fan. I don't know. Dennis Wilson was one of the other ones from the Beach Boys. Apparently he was really good friends with Jim Morrison, and one day they got into a fight and then they just never spoke again or something. Oh, that was the big one. They found out that Jim Morrison, Dennis, this is crazy. Dennis Wilson found out that Jim Morrison was friends with Charles Manson.
Yes, he was.
There you go.
Charlie Manson was trying to hook up with him because he wanted to be in a band. He wanted to do music.
Right. Charles Manson is one of the reasons why um, uh, Angela Lansbury moved to Ireland. I think I've said this before. Somebody showed me the meme and I found out it was true because the daughter, Charles Manson, was interested in Angela Lansbury's daughter and was very persistent. So something told Angela, no, this doesn't seem right, and ended up taking the family over to Ireland. And
Yeah, well, he had that cult going on with all those
they all
wackos
belonged
and
in a cult. They're all Satanists, right? And this is what Jimmy Morrison either did get into or almost got into. That's what we're trying to figure out. Did he um like Sarah, I hate to use you as an example, but you are a good example going from the dark to the light side, right? And maybe he did this and he did it by being Rush and being a conservative announcer. You see where I'm headed with this? You
yeah, well, you see, now that brings you back to you got to start listening to Jim Morrison's music because, like I said, his music was dark, but I think he was trying to tell people things
it could be.
also.
They, like I said, they were allowed to tell things to a certain, in to get into our faces. They were allowed to make these movies that were actually true and these songs that were actually true. Books, music, right?
Hmm.
Led Zeppelin said that Jim Morrison was obscene. Page
Well, he
and
was. He
Chance.
got Jim Morrison was convicted of indecent exposure in Florida.
Does it say
Right?
why? Like what kind of story
September
it was?
20th, 1970. Doesn't say why.
Yeah, but guys
And
can.
profanity.
Okay, so yeah, he probably did. He was disgusting. How many rockers do you know that say fuck your mother," meaning exactly what it is? Oedipus syndrome. Led Zeppelin said he was obviously high during his whole performance, and it was like almost sickening to watch. I mean, I have to listen to these other groups, these other people, these other famous people. They know how hard it is. And don't get me wrong, they all got fucked up. They all had groupies. They all had sex with young women. But there's also a difference between
And they
letting
all
go.
sold their souls too.
We don't know who exactly did yet. Like, obviously, Jimi Hendrix, if you think he's Morgan Freeman and he's one of the 27s that survived, there's also Janis that survived, they believe. So the 27s are
Hmm.
alive. But Jimi Hendrix was the best because um, when he was playing guitar at a nightclub. Janis was there, and Morrison comes in and says, goes to the stage, even though, obviously Hendrix is captivating the damn audience. But Jimmy stumbles towards the stage. I think he was either mumbling in his ear or the mic, I don't remember, but he was wrapping his arms around um Hendrix's legs at one point. He wanted to play with them, and Hendrix was like, "No, buddy, no, you can't play with me." Um, And I don't know if I don't think it was that. I think it was another time he was like, do you know who I am? And he goes, yeah, buddy, I know who you are, but you're not playing with me in another club. But the funny thing is that I think it might have been the first time that Morrison interrupted Jimmy playing at this club. Janice was there and again took a bottle of Southern Comfort and banged it over Morrison's head. So all
Whoa,
three of them were kicked out of that club, I think. Yeah, it was like done and over.
damn.
And it happened again in Canada, where I mean, he's 27, he's a young man, and he's going and involving himself in Jimi Hendrix shows. And he was like, "Do you need my help? You want me to play with you?" And Jimi Hendrix is no, like, no, buddy, I got this. This is my
And
so
yet I never saw Jim Morrison with an instrument in his hand.
Hmm.
see, he was a singer, right? And
Right.
I never thought he was a great singer, but you know, what do singers do? They're very good with their vocals. Rush Limbaugh is a talker. I mean, all right, is there anything in the chat? I think that's about all. I just wanted to tell you how much he was hated. Maybe his girlfriend changed his mind. Maybe somebody approached him. But I do find it very odd that the three of them at the same time all died of heroin. There are no coincidences. So as lovely and my husband laughed, but I am used to that. But now, you know what? I'm going to talk to him one more time about it, and we'll see if he'll be laughing again. No, I'm kidding. Don't laugh at your fucking way. I'm so used to it. It really doesn't bother me that much. But when it's your own husband, yeah, John, 6 planes now? Has it been 6 planes, guys?
Yeah.
Check the chat, Joe. Is it six or
Yeah.
seven?
Will you let me? I'll tell you. They I don't know what this one it goes to. Didn't Britain take it after the war? What does that comment go to,
Canada?
Suzanne? Oh, okay. Could be that. Then they said, she said, aren't they all actors? And then she said, or Elvis either. And Joseph said that he pulled it out on stage and urinated. That's
That's
all.
right. I do remember that story. I don't think I heard it in the video, but yep,
Susan was not a fan of Morrison either. I don't. I was.
I was not. I didn't mind Janis Joplin but
Uh,
and Hendrix. I like guitar, but
yeah, he's
there's
okay.
only so much I can listen to it sing or whine. I'm kidding. I do like guitar, um,
Played
but
a
you know,
mean
he
guitar
did
though.
play the national anthem. Couldn't you
He
see
was
Morgan
a
Freeman
fucking
doing
mean
that?
Mm.
guitarist.
Morgan Freeman absolutely looks a lot like Jimmy.
And he's
Uh,
even got the same marks on his face, those
yeah,
dark blemishes.
you guys
Mm.
can go and watch Tyler. I'm sure Tyler, flat earther he calls himself.
Oh yes, yeah.
I'm sure he has them up. Some of them I believe. I do. Not all of them. Not all of them. Elvis is not the father of Baron.
And he's not Trump either.
No, no.
Mm-mm.
He's not Trump. What do you mean?
He's one of them.
Elvis, he's got a video out there saying that Elvis is Trump
Oh
or Trump is Elvis, whatever.
See, okay.
no.
So Rush and um Jim Morrison were only like 7 years apart, eight 8 years apart. You could look at me and say, well, she could be 39, right? Right?
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah, it could be
But
two.
you could get away with certain things, especially if they do, like he gained weight or he lost the weight or he just did. I mean, you could get away with certain things, but other things you cannot.
And he's aged.
Elvis would be
Some people
90.
age and it shows. And then some people look like they're still fucking 29 or 39 like you.
I look
I'll
like I'm
tell you my
12.
secrets one day. Huh.
Yeah, okay, Cotton Pop.
There you go.
That's what Patch thought. I was like a little girl, right?
Yep,
And
he did. Yeah.
Joe always makes fun of me that way. I'm a little
It's a
girl.
little girl. Little girl. Hey, little girl.
Hey, little girl, let me like that you can, because mama, I'm so hard to handle now, you smile. Bum, bum, bum. I certainly don't act it, okay? Well, then again, I do sometimes, you know. Who doesn't like to act like little kids once in a while? I for here on will call him Daddy Trump. And I will be his little patriot girl. That's fine with
Right.
me.
That's why I got that shirt that says Daddy's home.
Right?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I remember saying that like the first day, his first speech in the chats, and I'm like, Daddy Trump, but nothing, it never clicked. Now it's clicking. Like, yay. Okay, guys, I think
I
that is
love the
enough.
way Dingo calls him Uncle Donald.
Uncle Donald. That's my Uncle Donald. I'll do anything for Uncle Donald. You guys, if you haven't seen Brett, I'll get him on. I think he's coming to the US really soon. He's from Australia.
Yeah.
He
Brett's
he
a good guy.
he finally came into money or something that they owed him for some accident or something. He had
Yeah.
a lot of bad stuff happen to him, as most of us did, especially during COVID
Hmm.
times. Look
Yep.
at my little crowds. Am I like not handsy, daddy of the world? Okay. All right, guys. We love you.
Good night. Thanks for watching, guys.
Good night, kiddos. And
Yes.
everybody who we did not see, everybody in the
Yep.
chat.
Yep.
Love you
Peace
much.
out.
Probably won't be on tomorrow, but in the next day, we're kind of cutting down a little bit, just a little bit.